Welcome to Books and Brews, Tales from the Frozen Tundra, where Packers stories are poured one pint at a time.
Oh man, I am so excited for this one.
Right. I mean, today we are taking a deep dive into some truly wild stuff.
Mhm.
We're talking about a guy who literally starves himself for 30 straight hours, denies himself water, and then pours searing hot glue directly onto his own skin.
Just right onto the skin.
All, just so a complete stranger can snap a photo with him in a parking lot. Like, we are really looking at that exact point
Right.
where a fun Sunday costume becomes, this intense psychological weight of being a living monument.
It is such a phenomenal subject to explore. I mean, that level of dedication, it completely redefines what we even mean when we use the word fan.
Oh, totally. And we're looking at all this through the lens of a massive new preservation project. It's called Tales from the Frozen Tundra, Superfans of Titletown.
Yeah, by Dr. Denni Towle. And it's published by Yord Publishing.
Exactly. And we should probably set the scene for you really quick because it is just a gorgeous morning. It is Sunday, June 14th, 2026, and we are sitting right outside Yord Studios here in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Could not ask for better weather, honestly.
No, it's perfect. We've got partly sunny skies, temperatures are hovering right in the low 60s, and there's just that perfect light Wisconsin breeze.
Yeah, it's that really quiet anticipatory stretch right between mandatory minicamp and training camp.
Right. So it's just the best time to sit back, grab a drink, and dive into these stories with you.
And the timing is actually critical because right now, during this quiet stretch of the football calendar, there's this collective community effort happening to actually preserve this history.
Yes, the Kickstarter.
Exactly. Dr. Towle spent months, I mean just months, gathering original interviews, photographs, and untold stories from 21 distinct superfans. And it's all for this massive 400-plus page book.
It's huge.
It really is. And right now, the Kickstarter campaign to actually fund the physical printing of the book is officially live.
Right, and we should clarify for you how that works, because it operates on an all-or-nothing model. So the campaign has a specific goal of $3,000.
Which is super important to remember.
Yeah. If they hit that target, the project is fully funded, the book gets printed, and this vital piece of community history is preserved. But if the campaign falls short of that $3,000 mark, nobody is charged a dime, and the project just receives zero funding.
Zero. Yeah, it just doesn't happen.
Right. So we'll put the Kickstarter link right in the description of this deep dive and on our social media posts so you can go be a part of making it happen. But, man, let's jump right into the actual stories because they are just wild.
Oh, they are.
So to kick things off, I am currently sipping on what we call the Frozen Tundra Macchiato.
A classic.
It's so good. It's this iced caramel macchiato piled insanely high with whipped cream, dripping with a rich white chocolate drizzle, and then finished with these crunchy, snowy sugar toppings that are totally inspired by Wisconsin winters.
Which, I gotta say, is the absolute perfect entry point for our first subject, Jeff Kahlow.
The Frozen Tundra Man himself.
Yes, he is famously known all around Green Bay as the Frozen Tundra Man. And visually, he is cold. When you see him draped in all that winter and ice, he looks really intimidating.
Ooh, for sure.
But underneath all of that artificial frost is a person who is just fueled by immense warmth and this unparalleled passion for his community.
Yeah, and like if you've been to Lambeau Field, you have absolutely seen this guy. It is a visual spectacle. He wears this 35-pound suit. It's made of heavy foam, complex wiring, glowing lights, and artificial ice.
It legitimately looks like a glacier just stood up and decided to walk through the tailgate lots.
Right. But you mentioned the book goes into how he essentially engineered himself into a walking piece of Wisconsin mythology.
Yeah, so Jeff grew up here really respecting the harshness of the winter outdoors, ice fishing, snowmobiling, and he started carving these foam hats back in the 90s.
Right.
But eventually he realized that no one had physically embodied the actual concept of the frozen tundra itself, so he just built this elaborate glowing ice armor.
Okay, wait. I have to jump in on the word armor here. Because when I was reading through Dr. Towle's research, the physical dedication required to wear this suit is just staggering.
It's unbelievable.
Like, before game day, Jeff goes on a strict fast for 25 to 30 hours. No food, no water.
Nothing.
Because once he is sealed into that 35-pound suit, there are no bathroom breaks. He cannot break character.
No, not at all.
And then there is the glue. To get those artificial icicles to stay on his face and neck through those brutal winter winds, he applies hot glue directly to his skin.
Yeah. He endures the searing pain of hot glue, just holding the plastic icicle there while the glue hardens, knowing it is going to burn every single time.
That is just, I mean, wow.
And that is really where we have to look at the psychology of this whole thing.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was trying to process. Because at what point does that kind of dedication cross the line into, like, masochism? Does the guy just wake up and say, I want to glue plastic to my face for attention?
Right, it seems crazy.
It does. Like, if I am wearing that suit and I'm starving and burning, I feel like I'm less of a fan and more of a theme park mascot trapped in an awful shift. So how does a fun, creative costume turn into what the book actually calls a sacred burden?
Well, the fans themselves turned Jeff into a symbol, and he just accepted the weight of it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he didn't initially ask for that psychological burden. But think about it from the perspective of a fan traveling from across the country, maybe from California or Texas, for their once-in-a-lifetime Lambeau pilgrimage.
Right, they spent thousands of dollars to be there.
Exactly. And with them, getting a photo with the frozen tundra man is what makes the magic of Green Bay feel real. Jeff absorbs the physical pain of the fast, the compression of a 35-pound suit on his spine, and the literal burns on his skin, all because he knows families depend on him to complete their experience.
Wow. It's like method acting, but the play just never ends, and the stage is a freezing parking lot.
Yeah.
And the book highlights the absolute extreme of this during the 2008 NFC Championship game against the New York Giants.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was the game where the wind chill hit negative 23 degrees.
Yeah.
It was a historically brutal night.
One of the coldest games in NFL history. And Jeff was out there in the suit.
The details of how he survived that are just incredible. The foam of his suit literally began to harden and lock up in the freezing temperatures.
Oh, God.
Right. The cold was biting through the tiny gaps in the armor. His body was practically screaming at him to go inside, to find a warming tent, to just take the suit off and be a normal human being for 10 minutes.
But he didn't.
He didn't. He stayed out there. He forced his joints to keep moving, knowing that if he stopped, the cold would fully set in. He pushed through near hypothermic conditions because he kept seeing fans who were shivering themselves, just lighting up when they saw him.
He essentially became the embodiment of the endurance that Green Bay prides itself on.
Yeah.
The frozen tundra man isn't just wearing the ice. I mean, he is carrying the weight of the legend for everyone else. It is a profound story of survival and duty. And it is exactly why preserving these stories in a 400-page book is so incredibly vital.
Yeah.
This isn't just a guy in a funny hat. This is human endurance for the sake of community joy.
Well said. We'll be right back after these messages. Are you ready to hold the history of Titletown in your hands?
The Kickstarter for Tales from the Frozen Tundra. Superfans of Titletown is officially live right now.
This massive 400-plus page book features 21 distinct superfans.
It is absolutely packed with original interviews, beautiful photographs, and untold stories that preserve the real culture of Packers fandom.
Don't miss out on funding this incredible project. Head to the link in our description to back the Kickstarter today. And welcome back to Books and Brews.
So we just talked about Jeff Kahlow, which is this amazing story of physical endurance.
Right. He proves that you can anchor a community through sheer pain and grit. But Green Bay is also built on this deep, almost spiritual reverence. And our next subject, John O'Neill, proves that you can anchor a community through quiet grace.
I love that transition. And to pair with that shift into grace and comfort, what are we drinking now?
So we are warming things up with some holy water tea.
Sounds very fitting.
It is. It's this incredibly soothing honey chamomile tea with a bright splash of lemon.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is so relaxing. I might take a thermos of this out to the tailgate lots later just to bless the brats on the grill.
You absolutely should bless the brats. But yeah, it's a highly appropriate pairing. A warm, soothing drink really reflects the comfort, the immense generosity, and the community spirit of John O'Neill, who is known universally to the Green Bay faithful as Saint Vince.
Yes, the football pope. He wanders the lots in these elaborate green and gold people robes, complete with a tall mitre hat and a literal cheese scepter.
It's iconic, and St. Vince actually debuted way down south in Kiln, Mississippi.
Which is famously Brett Favre's hometown.
Exactly. This was during the lead-up to Super Bowl 31. John was profoundly inspired by Vince Lombardi, the discipline, the greatness, the respect. He imagined the spirit of Lombardi returning from heaven to watch his Packers in the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah, and John's incredible wife and creative partner, Bea, physically built the intricate robes to bring that entire vision to life.
But I mean, you got to admit, that is walking a massive tightrope.
Oh, for sure.
Because in a Midwestern fan base that treats Vince Lombardi with actual, non-ironic religious reverence, stepping out in papal robes feels incredibly risky.
Yeah, it could go very wrong.
It's like showing up to the Vatican in a fake Pope hat, you know? How do you not get chased out? How did John avoid crossing the line into blasphemy or mockery?
It really comes down to absolute, unquestionable sincerity. John recognized the risk immediately. He knew that if the fans felt he was making a caricature of Lombardi or mocking the church, they would reject him outright.
Right.
But the paradox is that because Lombardi is treated with such religious awe, the papal imagery actually fits, provided it is delivered with genuine humility. John carried himself with such warmth that the fans instantly embraced him.
And he immediately leveraged that attention into charity, too.
Yes.
Like down in Mississippi, when people started flocking to him for photos, he didn't ask for fame. He started asking for $1 donations to the American Cancer Society.
Specifically honoring the disease that ultimately took Vince Lombardi's life.
Exactly. He turned a photo opportunity into a literal force for good.
And that is the hallmark of a true superfan in this culture. It is not about taking attention. It is about redirecting it. John is also famous for walking around the tailgate lots and handing out personalized St. Vince bobbleheads to children who are attending their very first Packers game.
I love that so much.
He kneels down to their eye level, signs the back of the bobblehead with the date, and gives them a physical memory of their first time at Lambeau.
And, there's a story in Dr. Towle's book about one of those exact bobbleheads that absolutely floored me.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It is. A family brought their young son to a game, and they had that exact interaction with St. Vince. He gave the boy a signed bobblehead. Sometime later, the family suffered an unimaginable tragedy, and the young boy passed away.
It is just an incredibly heavy reality to face.
It is. And the family actually reached out to John O'Neill afterward to tell him that during his short life, that signed St. Vince bobblehead was one of the boy's most treasured possessions.
Wow.
It was a centerpiece in his room. The family held on to it as a physical anchor to a day of pure joy they had shared together. And when John heard that, it fundamentally shifted his understanding of what he was doing.
How could it not?
Right. He realized he wasn't just playing a character, he was creating lasting emotional artifacts for families.
And you can see why Dr. Towle felt compelled to document this. I mean, these aren't trivial tailgating stories. These are deeply human experiences masked behind face paint and foam.
Yeah, let's take a quick breather to talk about how you can grab a copy of these amazing stories for yourself. Want to guarantee your copy of Tales from the Frozen Tundra?
The Kickstarter has reward tiers built for every type of fan. For just $19, you can instantly grab the digital edition.
Or, if you want a physical piece of history, $39 gets you the signed paperback edition, autographed directly by author Dr. Denni Towle.
And for the true collectors, $49 secures the beautiful signed hardcover edition.
Head to the link in the description to back the project and claim your tier today. And welcome back.
So we've talked about John O'Neill, who commands respect through this quiet spiritual reverence.
Right. But let's be honest, a football parking lot isn't a church.
No, it is not.
It is a chaotic, high-voltage party. And to command that kind of environment, you need an entirely different kind of armor.
We are definitely moving from the cathedral to the wrestling ring.
Oh, exactly. And to match that chaotic joy, I am cracking open a Dreckiord Spirits Apple Pizer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is a rich apple pie cider loaded with apple, cinnamon, vanilla, and fall spice flavors.
That sounds incredible.
It's so good. This drink just captures the ultimate essence of football season. It tastes like firing up the grill, throwing on the brats, and feeling the electric energy of game day right in Lot 1.
Which perfectly matches the larger-than-life, high-octane energy of Brad Borchardt, who is much better known to the world as Packermania.
Packermania, the face paint, the wrestling promos, the pointing at the sky. It's iconic.
So Brad grew up in Iron Mountain, Michigan, and he actually merged his two greatest childhood loves to create this persona. He took the unpredictable gun-slinging magic of Brett Favre and combined it with the electric, crowd-commanding showmanship of Hulk Hogan.
But the psychology here is really fascinating to me, because Brad admits that in real life, outside the paint, he is actually a naturally shy, reserved person.
Yeah, totally introverted.
Right. So how does a quiet guy from Michigan become the loudest, most magnetic guy in Lot 1? And for anyone listening who doesn't know, Lot 1 is the absolute epicenter of Lambeau tailgating.
Oh, yeah, it's legendary.
It is where the most devoted fans have gathered for decades. It is loud, it is proud, and it is intense. So how does he do it?
Well, the persona acts as armor. It is a psychological shield that gives Brad permission to step completely out of his shell.
Oh, okay.
When he puts on the green and gold paint, Brad Borchardt steps back, and Packermania takes over. He has a very strict rule, the paint never comes off around the fans.
Wow.
If a kid runs up to him in the parking lot, they aren't meeting a shy guy. They are getting a full 100% wrestling promo from Packermania.
That's awesome. It's almost like a superhero putting on the cape.
Yeah.
Like the shy guy is Clark Kent and the paint makes him Superman, suddenly just immune to social anxiety.
And much like St. Vince, he uses that amplified voice for community service. Brad was actually inducted into the Pro Football Ultimate Fan Association, or the PFUFA.
We should explain what that is because it's a massive deal in the superfan world.
Yeah, the PFUFA is essentially the Hall of Fame for superfans across the entire NFL.
But you don't get in just for having a crazy outfit or being loud, right?
No, not at all. It requires a really dedicated commitment to fellowship, sportsmanship, and charity. It elevates a fan from just being the loud guy in the lot to being a recognized pillar of the community. Brad uses the sheer volume of Packermania to drive massive charitable efforts, raising money and awareness for people who need it.
He amplifies the joy of the tailgate, but channels the resulting attention towards service. And the ultimate validation of all that showmanship actually happened in 2024. The book details this surreal encounter between Brad and his actual inspiration, Hulk Hogan.
It is such an incredible moment.
Yeah. Brad shows up to an event in full Packermania gear, the paint, the bandana, the whole Hogan-esque setup.
And Hogan sees him, and instead of just giving him a polite wave, Hogan actually breaks into his own character.
Yes. He points at Brad, hits the classic wrestling poses, and essentially cuts a promo right back at him.
For Brad, it was just the ultimate nod of approval. The shield he had created to overcome his own shyness had actually connected him directly to his childhood hero.
It is the moment where the fan is fully seen and validated by the icon.
Yeah.
One last quick break before we wrap things up. For the diehard collectors listening, the Kickstarter for Tales from the Frozen Tundra features some incredibly exclusive reward tiers.
We are talking about the Superfan editions and the Frozen Tundra Man editions, which are loaded with autographed collector prints.
But the absolute crown jewel is the VIP Tailgate Experience tier. Backers at that elite level get a VIP credential and access to an exclusive tailgate party right there in the legendary Lot 1.
You actually get to mingle with the legends themselves before the Packers take on the Bears.
These spots are extremely limited, so click the Kickstarter link in our description now before they are gone. Ooh, and we're back for our final thoughts.
So, if we synthesize everything we've explored today across these three legends, Jeff Kahlow, John O'Neill, and Brad Borchardt, what does this all actually mean for the listener?
Yeah, what's the big takeaway?
It means that true fandom is about the transformation from consumption to contribution.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, these three men are legends, not just because they created visually stunning costumes. The foam ice, the papal robes, the face paint, those are just the hooks to get your attention.
Right.
They are legends because they use those personas to cultivate joy, to preserve Green Bay tradition, and to build a genuinely welcoming community around Lambeau Field. They use their own physical endurance, their quiet grace, and their loud showmanship to make strangers feel like family.
They carry the sacred burden of our memories, and you can help preserve their history. I want to make one final reminder about the Kickstarter campaign for Tales from the Frozen Tundra. Superfans of Titletown.
Please remember, this is an all-or-nothing $3,000 goal.
Yes. If we don't hit it, this cultural history does not get printed. The link is right in our description. Back the project, claim a reward tier, and ensure these stories live on forever.
And today was really just the beginning of our exploration into this book.
Oh, we have so much more to cover. I cannot wait for our next deep dive. Episode 2 is going to be called The Voices Behind the G.
That is going to be a good one.
We are going to be exploring Aaron Nagler from Cheesehead TV, Jeff Payton, who is the incredible ASL Cheesehead, using American Sign Language to brilliantly bridge the deaf community and Packers fandom, and Camden Lawrence, the high-energy Pac-Man Cam. You will not want to miss it.
As we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave you with a final question to ponder. We've seen how Jeff, John, and Brad use their passions to create something much larger than themselves.
Yeah.
So if you were to create a superfan alter ego, like a persona that amplified the absolute best parts of your own personality, what would it look like and how would you use it to elevate the community around you?